Hi, welcome. I'm Dr. Jeffrey Lee, and I know we're getting a lot of people that are viewing this from kind of all these different locations. So we're located in Richmond, British Columbia, Canada, and we're super excited to deliver some of this content to you. Uh, I want to take just a brief moment. Today, the topic is we're talking about what am I eating and what are the supplements I'm taking to boost my immune system. Oh, hey, John. Nice to see you on. Awesome. I'd like to start with just a very simple breathing exercise, and we can get started. I just want to guide us to do a little bit of breathing. A lot of stress going on right now, so I'll just show you how maybe what I'm doing right now. So my breathing exercise is really simple. I have a variety of different ones, but the one that I want to teach right now is just a really simple inhalation through your nose, and then hold your breath for a few seconds, and then slowly breathe out through your mouth. I'd like to start with that, and that's going to kind of settle me down a little bit and just hopefully ground you as well. So I'm going to take a 3-second breath through my nose. I'm just going to hold it for about 6 seconds, and I'm going to slowly breathe it out through my mouth in about 6 seconds. And then we'll get started there. Okay, let's get started. So. For those of you just joining us, I'm just guiding us through a very simple breathing exercise. So let's breathe in through our nose. And we're going to do one more. So we're going to breathe in through our nose in 3 seconds, hold your breath for about 6 seconds, and then slowly breathe out in about 6 seconds. And again, for those who are joining us, we are talking about immune system. I just want to get us just grounded first. So one last breath, please. Okay, excellent. Well, thank you. So I just want to say the first thing, I really appreciate Dr. Neetu. She kind of spearheaded this. For some of my friends who are on, you might have noticed that I'm not really on Facebook, and this is my very first Facebook Live. And honestly, the last time I was on Facebook, I think was about 2 years ago. So I'm super appreciative of Dr. Neetu just reminding us as a team to, hey, this is a good time that we can really serve our patients and just deliver some important content there. So I just wanted to definitely say some kudos to Dr. Neetu there. We really want to support you during this uncertain time. We want to support the Brio community. We want to support the city of Richmond, but also just the health community everywhere. So I hope that these Facebook Lives are valuable to you. And I really want to invite you, if you have very specific content that you want us to talk about, just maybe share that in the comments there, or please send us an email. I've got a few friends right now who aren't doing very well right now, and I think there's a lot of fear going on right now. They're worried about their job. They're worried about parents. There's just a lot of uncertainty, and I'm talking to a lot of friends and family about just mental health issues, anxiety, and depression. So I really want to encourage you to just please reach out to your friends and to your neighbors. Give them a call. I think they want to hear your voice. We all really need to be cared for right now. And for those of you who work with me, I'm back next week. I'm just on spring break right now, but I'm happy to just chat with you. I'm starting to fill up my schedule. Annette just gave me a heads up that it's starting to fill up. So please reach out to Annette there. I'm really happy to serve you. And I'm working on these immune protocols specifically for you. So there's a lot that I want to share. And some of it I'll definitely share today. And just to remind you, we're not giving any specific medical advice today. It's really just yeah. I just want to share with you what I'm doing right now to really kind of protect my immune system. So, okay, I'm going to start, and I decided I'm going to show you guys a picture first, and I'm going to be a little bit vulnerable right now. So I'm going to show you a picture of myself about 20 years ago. So this is me about 20 years ago. I was pretty unhealthy at that time, and I was quite overweight. So I was about 50 pounds overweight. And I just wanted to start by sharing that photo with you, because right now, with this fear and sort of these times of uncertainty, my instinct is actually to sort of fall back on some of these bad habits I used to have. Right now, I'm craving sugar. And I'm just being honest with you. I'm craving sugar. I'm craving a lot of junk food. And yeah, my instinct is to just kind of, hide out for a bit. I really want to just kind of disconnect or just like watch Netflix there. And I think for me, the sugar and the junk food, it's just, my way of soothing myself. And I think that was kind of the old Jeff. And, if you're feeling that right now, I just want to say to you that I totally understand. I think in times of fear and uncertainty, we just kind of want to default to just some of these bad habits there. So I really want to encourage you to take this time to process, your feelings there, and please don't default to the junk food. And I just want to make this super clear while I'm starting this talk here. I want to make it super clear that this is the absolute worst time that you could be doing, going on junk food, defaulting to sugar. This is actually the worst time to do that. Don't let your bad habits take over. And I just want to be that encouragement, because I know how it feels. I know it's a struggle. And actually on Friday, I'm going to be talking about some of the things that I'm doing from a habits standpoint or a schedule or rhythm. We're going to talk more about that. And I've really had to lean on some of those techniques to really resist some of that craving. So this is actually a super important time to really reinforce your immune system, really bolster up that immune system. And I'm going to share with you what I'm doing, but yeah, just really want to reinforce that. Let me start by the 4 things that I'm going to be talking about today. Is we're going to be talking about how the immune system really thrives in an alkaline environment. So that's the first thing I'm going to talk about. Number 2 is cutting out sugar. And I mentioned that just now, but we're going to go in just a little bit more detail there. And number 3, we're going to strengthen gut health. And number 4, I'm going to share with you my supplement routine. I just want to say hi out to John there. Thanks for your support. Thanks for your encouragement there. Appreciate that. Okay, let's start off with what is an alkaline environment. So alkaline environment, it's the pH in the body. It's that acid-base balance there. And in an unhealthy body, we tend to be a lot more acidic. Okay, and in a healthy body, we tend to be a lot more alkaline. And another word for alkaline is something more basic there. So the acid-base balance there. Now, what promotes an acidic environment? Again, the acidic environment is not the good environment. So things like excess sugar, too much meat, a lot of processed foods, simple carbohydrates, that really promotes an acidic environment. Now, what promotes an alkaline environment? An alkaline environment is really when you're eating a lot more dark, leafy green vegetables, And what I mean by that is things like kale, spinach, Brussels sprouts, broccoli, gailan, bok choy. Those are the green pigments are really, really important to balance out that acid base in the body. So definitely eat a lot more greens there. Things like microalgae, things like seaweed, those are all really good. So spirulina, chlorella, those are really important at creating that alkaline environment. And the other thing, something that we just practiced a moment ago, deep breathing. Deep breathing is super important at creating that alkaline environment because you're actually releasing a lot more CO2 when you're doing that deep belly breathing. A lot of times when we're in fear, we're doing a lot of that shallow breathing there, and we're just really not clearing out that CO2 there. So again, I just gave you some very simple tips on how to help your body become more alkaline, because an alkaline environment is so important for your immune system. I just want to take a moment just to remind you, we're going to summarize all of this, and we're going to be putting it up somewhere. So I will have a summary for you. So if you're not sure on some of the things that I've said, I will get that out to you. But feel free to take notes if you that's how you learn. So in summary, an acidic environment is not good. An acidic environment, it's that perfect environment for a lot of pathogens, a lot of viruses, a lot of bacteria, a lot of cancer cells. So we do not want an acidic environment. A basic or an alkaline environment, that's where we really want that type of environment, because that's when the immune system really thrives. And the really cool thing is when I work with a lot of these elite athletes, you really see the ones that actually have a really alkaline diet, so they have a real alkaline system, they recover so much faster. It's quite remarkable there. So I definitely see that in my elite athletes. So I wanted to start off with that. Now let's transition right now. What am I eating these days? So right now I'm not eating a lot of gourmet foods. I'm keeping it actually really simple and just simple and healthy. So some ideas for breakfast. This is what I've actually had this past week. For those of you who are patients of mine, you know that I'm a huge fan of soups. I make a lot of homemade soups there. I'm a big fan of bone broth, so I make my own bone broth soups. And right now, I'm just adding a lot more herbs and a lot of spices to my soups there. I'm adding a lot of garlic. I'm adding a lot of onions there. I'm adding a lot of ginger. I'm experimenting with a lot of spices, turmeric, oregano, thyme. I'm just playing around with a lot of different spices. So these spices are super, super important at fighting off infection. So I'm going to encourage you, you can be so creative with your different soups. I just did sort of a cauliflower and mushroom soup the other day, and I threw it in the blender, and it just was a thick, creamy, sort of a cream of mushroom soup. And I didn't have to put any dairy or anything into it. So my kids love that. Right now, I'm just doing a lot of vegetable soups right now. Another idea I do for breakfast right now is I'm doing a lot of green smoothies. And again, for those of you who know, usually I don't always encourage green smoothies. Usually in the fall and winter time, I tend to do more soups and stews. But now that we're doing more, now like the weather's getting a little bit better, this is when, and I'm really trying to, again, boost my immune system. I am doing more green smoothies now. And I've got more time, and I'm sort of making them actually throughout the day as well. So some things that I'm putting in my green smoothies, I'm putting spinach, parsley, cilantro. I know people aren't a big fan of those, but those are super important for the immune system. I'm putting avocado, celery, cucumbers, lemon. I'm also including my fish oil in my smoothies. I'm putting things like flax seeds or my hemp seeds there. So I'm really creating a nutrient-dense, protein-packed green smoothie there. So I hope that helps you be a little bit more creative there. It's sometimes in the mornings. I don't always have these traditional breakfasts. So for sure in my house, we don't do cereals. We don't do cereals for a number of reasons. They're just simple carbohydrates. There's just way too much sugar in them. And again, that's not good for your immune system. So I have a lot of just unusual types of breakfast. I have a lot of stir fry, so I have a lot of vegetables with maybe some eggs. I might make a scrambled, an omelet there, but I load it up with a lot of vegetables. And right now, I'm just putting a lot of spinach there. I'm putting there, yeah. Sometimes I'll add some seaweed as well in my breakfast as well. I think John was asking that. But yeah, I'm putting a lot of vegetables, a lot of, from garlic, onions. I'm just playing around with a lot of different things. Recently, I just made this sounds like one of those Asian types of desserts, but I think this is a really good breakfast. I made a red bean or like an adzuki bean. A red bean porridge. I used some coconut milk to flavor it, and I put some yams in there. It's quite a nice hearty type of breakfast there. So I just want to share with you some of those things that I've been doing recently. And for breakfast and lunch, what I'm doing right now for breakfast and lunch, now this time off that I'm just kind of pausing and I'm at home, I'm really enjoying cooking right now. I used to have way more time when I was in college and university where I cooked a lot. Now I am enjoying that. And my daughter, my younger one, Sophia, she is my little sous chef right now, and she's really enjoying it. So I'm having a lot of fun cooking right now, and I'm making a lot of I think I'm making a lot of comfort foods, a lot of like Chinese dishes that I grew up having. The past couple of nights, I've been making different stir fries. I made a green bean tofu with some black bean sauce. I made, broccoli with oyster sauce. Yeah, so those are the things that I'm making a lot of. I'm eating a lot of just wholesome brown rice there. I'm baking a lot of fish right now, and I'm baking some chicken as well. So usually what I'll have for dinner is I'll have maybe a smaller meat dish, and I'll usually try to have 2 to 3 vegetable dishes. I'll experiment with different spices, different flavors there, and I'll usually have a bit of rice as well. So that's an idea, and whenever we can get out to get some fresh groceries, which we're going out maybe every 3-4 days. I think tonight we might do like a taco night. We're just gonna try to get some fresh cucumbers, tomatoes, lettuce, just some fresh veggies with some tacos. So I hope that gives you a little bit of ideas there. And I guess my take-home message here is this. I'm really trying to eat as much whole foods, and I'm trying to eat as much colorful foods as possible. Whole foods simply means things that are not from a package. They're just the way nature intended it. So I'm eating a lot of whole foods, and I'm eating a lot of colorful foods. And the color, and this is a joke that we always say, not things like Skittles and not candy, colorful foods. I'm just trying to eat a lot of like nature's colors where I just picked up a purple cabbage. I'm eating a lot of dark leafy greens. I'm eating. This is actually a good question. John's asking what veggies freeze well. Actually, in my freezer, I do actually have. I'm just going to take a quick tangent. I have a lot of fresh green beans. I have carrots that I prepared. Those I try to buy them organic, and I'm trying to and I'm freezing those. We did buy a little bit of. Just some frozen veggies like peas and some corn. I have some of that in my freezer, but like colorful. Going back to what I was saying about colorful vegetables, bell peppers. I'm just doing as much color as I can. So the color pigments in fruits and vegetables. That's where you're getting a lot of the antioxidants there. So take advantage of this springtime, and actually, the timing is super, super important right now. We're getting into spring, and I think we're really lucky, especially the people that are living in Richmond right now. I just want to give a little plug to my favorite organic farm in Richmond. Some of you might have heard of Sweet Digs Farm. We've been using Sweet Digs Farms for a number of years. So they are a CSA. They're a community-supported agriculture. And I love, love, love their produce. I've never had tomatoes that are that delicious and that sweet before in my life. And they're awesome. It's an awesome company. And I just wanted to say, they provide such excellent produce there. And right now, if you're worried about, going to the grocery store as you're socially distancing yourself, they're pivoting, and what they're doing right now is they are delivering right now, or they've always delivered, but they're being very extra cautious, and they can deliver to your house. I think they deliver on Thursdays and Saturdays. So again, I'll put those in my notes there. They're called Sweet Digs Farm. And I would really get in on it right now. I think right now, because springtime, I think they're opening up their sign up for the CSA. So please take advantage of that. And again, just take home message is eat whole foods. And I see this said a lot right now, that we are a culture that is overfed but undernourished there. We are just eating a lot of high caloric foods, but we're not eating dense nutrient dense foods there. So my take-home message is aim for that whole foods there. Your immune system will really thank you for that. So my second point is cutting out the sugars there. And I made that claim right off the bat there. And do your best right now. Now is really such an important time to eat, cut out your sugars there and take advantage of this time. While we're all kind of pausing right now, this is kind of more important time than ever. And I'm going to say it as a gentle, kind of supportive way as much as possible. But if you do get sick, it's really important that your immune system right now is ready, and it's fine, and it's tuned, and it can help you just recover so much faster. So sugar is really something that really pushes down your immune system. And what I mean by sugar is really cut out the candy, cut out the chocolate, cut out the sweeteners there. Cut out those simple carbohydrates like the white rice and the white bread right now. And I know I might get a bit of pushback from people with that love their rice there. Go and change to having brown rice. I've just recently been reading so much, and I'm just reminded that the brown rice is so nutrient dense. Actually, there's more than 70 antioxidants in that brown rice, that rice bran layer. There's so much nutrients in that. So eating things like wild rice, brown rice, we've really as a society kind of gone away from that, and it's just because of shelf life. White rice, white rice probably does taste better, right? But it also has a longer shelf life, and unfortunately, we've really shortchanged ourselves with so much nutrients there. So pivot right now. If in my family, not everyone loves brown rice, but we're mixing things up. We're doing we're mixing half white and rice, and we're kind of doing that transition to brown rice there. I might do a masterclass down the road, just talking more about rice. I'm not going to geek out on you right now, but just simple things like that. Brown rice is incredibly nutrient dense there. I also want to just say how I know it's really hard to kick that sugar addiction. I shared with you a little bit earlier, just with my picture of just me, being quite overweight and just addicted to sugar. And like all addictions, it's really a holistic and kind of a collective approach. And if that's something that we as a clinic that can support you with maybe just kicking the sugar addiction, I'm just kind of thinking out loud right now, if we can somehow do like a collective kind of group detox or group cleanse, if that's something that you want to do, let me know, share that say that in the comments, or send us an email. I'll talk to the Brio team and we'll maybe put something like that together, because that's how important it is. And I know it's difficult, and I think the more I can or we can support each other, it'll just be a lot easier. And finishing off the cutting out the sugars, I'll share with you what I'm doing right now is I'm actually really, I figured out for myself, my brain confuses that craving, to put something in my mouth, it confuses that with actually thirst. And more often than not, I'm actually more thirsty. I'm often a little bit more dehydrated than I realize, even though I really try to drink a lot of water. So sometimes when I'm having that sugar craving, I'm drinking water, and I'm putting green light in the water. I'm sometimes adding lemon juice, fresh lemons or lime in that water, and more often than not, when I can hydrate myself, my sugar craving does go away. Now that we're getting into spring, we're going to start seeing more kind of fruits and vegetables, and I sometimes I'll just enjoy like a really good apple or a really good orange there, rather than grabbing like a Snickers bar or a chocolate bar or something like that. And I do want to just share with you, I love my chocolate, and I'm just gonna share with you. This is something that I'm consuming right now. So it's cocoa misto. It just is a good replacement for like a hot chocolate or like a coffee or a mocha or something that. So I really love this company. It's something that I've been taking recently. And this is something else that I'm taking, and I hope this doesn't like gross some of you out, but check this out. I don't know if you've seen this, but this is a dark chocolate hummus. That's right, I said hummus. It's a dark chocolate hummus. The company is called Fontaine Santé. And it's dark chocolate. It's hummus, so it's like cooked chickpeas, water, cocoa powder, date paste. That's how they're sweetening. They're sweetening with it. There's a little bit of agave syrup. I'm not a huge fan of agave syrup, but better than high fructose corn syrup. So I just want to share with you that's what I'm doing right now. I think I picked this up at Costco, so, but I'm sure it's around in some other places there. So I hope, oh, and somebody said, where do you get cocoa miso? So I know you can order this online. We have this. I don't know if we still have it in stock, so you might have to just send an email to Annette there. I know that they take online orders, and again, if you guys are interested, we can do a bulk order and bring some in. Just again, let us know there. So those are the two things that I'm doing to help myself cut out the sugar and just change some of those habits there. The next thing I want to talk about is gut health. Now, I'm not going to spend a lot of time on gut health because I can honestly talk for hours about gut health, and I know Dr. Karen's actually going to be talking about gut health, so I'm going to let her kind of elaborate. But I just want to simply make that connection that a big part of our immune system. So some researchers are saying like 80% of our immune system is in our digestive system, and the other 20% is in our bloodstream. And so in our digestive system, it's a long digestive tract, and we've got immune cells that are integrated into our cells, into the lining of our digestive system, and they're called Peyer's patches. And so it's super, super important to take care of your digestive system right now to really enhance your immune system. And what I mean by that is, I've already said cutting out the sugar, but really, cut out the inflammation. If you are triggered by certain things, some people can't handle wheat that well. Some people can't handle fried foods or junk food. Just, this is the time to really, again, I'm going to say it over and over again, bolster your immune system. Really strengthen it right now. Take this time. A healthy digestive system, again, have good foods coming in, and also make sure you're having regular bowel movements. Just really clear out those toxins there. Right now, if you're noticing you're having a lot more, digestive symptoms, bloating, or you're having some stomach issues, maybe you're under a lot of stress. For my patients there, call me. We will set up an appointment. We'll do it individually, case by case, because there's a lot of reasons why your gut might be stirred up right now. But I just want to really encourage you to focus on the gut health. And I hope Dr. Karen just dives in a little bit deeper. If not, one of the docs, we will come back and talk more about it. That's a big part of naturopathic medicine. When we heal the gut, we heal so many things. When we heal the gut, we heal the immune system. When we heal the gut, we heal the brain. So yeah, we can talk for hours about the digestive system. Okay, so I'm going to start wrapping things up, but the last thing I want to talk about is what am I taking? What supplements am I taking right now? And again, I'm going to give you some of my dosages there, but please, don't take this as medical advice. I just want to share with you what I'm doing right now. And again, if you have specific questions, reach out to me, please. So I am taking a plant-based multivitamin. So this is the one that I'm taking. It's a Metagenics product. It's called Phytomulti. And I'm taking a plant-based multi because I've shared with you earlier, plant, dark green, all of that is very, creates more of an alkaline environment there. This one, there's a lot of good research that shows how well it's absorbed there. Just be careful for multivitamins. If you get not such a great brand. A lot of that is synthetic. A lot of that is lab created there. So I love my Phytomulti. It's plant-based, and I'm covering all my bases there. You're probably reading a lot about zinc and selenium, all those important minerals out there. They are very important. So I'm taking my Phytomulti. And I'm also taking something called Green Light. You probably heard me say Green Light. Green Light, it's actually a herbal compound, and it just has a bunch of these green products that I said earlier, maybe some of the algae. So, for example, it's got barley leaf extract, it's got chlorella, it's got alfalfa sprouts, it's got spirulina, it's got Irish moss, it's parsley leaf, and actually it tastes really good. So this is something that I'm doing to, again, keep bolstering my immune system. And I'm not trying to promote any of these particular products. I just want to give you guys the concepts of what I'm doing. I'm trying to have a lot more dark green things in my system. So I'm eating a lot of vegetables. I'm taking nutrients that are dense in dark color. It's that plant medicine. This is the right time to really allow nature to really heal us. So plant medicine, there's so many nutrients in plant medicine. So that's a real kind of foundation to what I'm doing there. Next, I'm taking a lot of vitamin C right now. I am on a ton of webinars. I'm learning from I'm reading research that's coming out of China, what they've been doing. They're doing a lot of IV vitamin C. I just did a webinar with Dr. Paul Anderson down in Seattle. He's in the middle of this outbreak in Seattle that's quite serious. So I've been learning from a lot of these experts there, and I'm taking a lot of vitamin C. So I'm taking about 6 grams of vitamin C a day. I'm just dividing the doses. I'm splitting them 3 times a day, 2 grams around every meal there. That's what I'm doing. And actually, to be honest with you, sometimes I'm taking even actually more. I don't want to, scare you with, those crazy dosages out there, but that's just what I'm doing. Vitamin C is a water-soluble nutrient, so I feel that it's safe to take there, and the research out there is quite solid there. Next, I'm taking vitamin D3, and I'm super particular with my vitamin D. It needs to be a vitamin D3 with vitamin K number 2. So D3 with K2. And that's really important for absorbability. I'm taking about 8,000 IUs, 8,000 international units a day. And I see a comment is that something that is appropriate for kids? And that's an awesome question, but I don't want to answer that right now. Just talk to your naturopath, and they'll fine tune it for kids. Yeah, I'm reading. Yeah, that's a good comment. We can talk more about zinc later, Kelly. I think that's an awesome question. We'll go into a lot more detail there. Zinc is important there, and we are ordering more zinc lozenges to again support people there. Just to wrap up, I'm also taking my fish oil. I'm also doing my probiotics and fish oil to really lower inflammation, and I'm doing probiotics for gut health there. That's super important. And lastly, I'm actually taking a lot of Chinese herbs right now as well. There's too much to really list, but I'll talk about a couple of them. I'm taking astragalus. For those who've worked with me for a long time, you know that I love astragalus, and I'm taking different Chinese mushrooms there, and I'm experimenting with some bitters right now, some bitter herbs there. So now that I've got time, I'm just reading a ton about herbs, and I hope I'll share more of that maybe in a master class there. Thanks for those who've kind of stuck around. I know this is a lot longer than I actually expected. I was hoping to get all of this done in about 15 minutes. I know it's about 35 minutes there. So just a quick summary then. Immune system thrives in an alkaline environment, and now is a super, super important time. Now take care of your immune system. Really strengthen it. Cut out sugar, number 2. Strengthen your gut health. And then also, you heard about my supplement routine, so make sure you're on something. So thank you, and please share this with your community. And if we can be of further help, just reach out to us. Take care, and we'll be back soon. Take care. Bye.